What's going on, everybody? Gabriel Bello here. It's so good to see you, and I have a By Faith Studios big announcement and update to give you. So everyone's been asking me, what's the progress? Is the studio almost done? And what's going on? And my answer's been, no, it's not almost done. The building is up, the structure is up, but I've been going over the plans with engineers and acoustic engineers and audio engineers and builders and roofing guys, and I mean all sorts of people getting advice to make sure I do the right thing. And for a minute there, I was gonna skimp and try to be cheap and try to save money and try to be like, well, try to think about, well, if Gabriel Bello's paying for all this, then this is the way we're gonna have to do it. But this is the Lord project, so we're gonna do it right, and we're gonna do it right the first time. So the big announcement is I started my own 501c3. So By Faith Music is now its own legit ministry. Hooray! Hooray! So now any gifts, anything that you sow, you can write off on your taxes. By Faith Ministries is now its own thing. It's amazing. So it is connected to my PayPal account. So now when you do the PayPal, I can send it to the ministry and I can send you a thing. I'll get your thing right off. Here you go. Write it off. Here's the ministry. Here's the ministry. All the information for that. So that's the first thing. And the reason I wanted to do that before we took the next steps is I've calculated what we need to do. So right now, what we're trying to do is get the building framed. And at the very least, I'm trying to frame the control room, the bathroom, and the vocal booth. Basically, half of the building needs to get framed ASAP, but I'd like to frame the whole thing. Framing the whole thing is gonna cost about $13,000. So $13,000, that's one of the first things that has to happen. But before then, and I actually just got a text message from the guy that's going to do it. I was looking at trying to do the best insulation for the dollar for the building, and everybody was foam. Foam's the best way to go. Flame's the best way to go, but it's also the most expensive way to go. Well, after talking to a guy that does spray foam, it's also the best for sound isolation and insulation, not just temperature. So I said, well, I'm trying to keep it cool in the summer, which is the most of the time here in North Carolina, and I also want to keep it soundproof because we're here recording music for the glory of God. So let's not try to save all the money and get the cheapest way and spread the money. Let's just do it right. So we're going to do it right, and that is going to cost about $7,000. We're going to get the final quote. He's coming Monday or Tuesday, but to do the ceiling is going to cost, he said, approximately $4,000 to $4,500, $4,000 to $4,500, and then to do the walls will be another $2,500 to $3,000. So that'll be, $7, $8 grand, give or take. I'm looking right now. I have a friend of mine. I've had a couple different guys, a couple different contractors and companies quote and set up to do the framing, and everybody's busy. And folks have backed out, folks have stopped answering phone calls, and I've got one buddy of mine who hopefully is going to do the job, but if for some odd reason he cannot do it, I am looking for someone to do the framing. So if you are a contractor, or you know someone that can do it, or you want to come and help me do it, I mean, I am not very good with saws and stuff, but I am good unskilled labor when it comes to construction. So I can hold wood, I can bring stuff back and forth. If we can get a crew of 5, 6 guys out here, I mean, we might be able to knock this out in a couple weekends. Who knows? So I've got I know how it needs to go. Most everything is measured actually. We just need to get the materials, and I haven't bought the materials yet because I need to make sure that I have what I need before I get everything going. But the material is going to cost anywhere between $4,000 and $5,000. I actually got a quote to do it with metal initially, and that was going to be $8,000. But now, since the cost of wood is coming down, wood will cost about half the price of metal, and the labor is the quotes have been coming anywhere about $7,000 to $8,000. So I'm hoping that I can find somebody that will do it for less, or if it's that and that's what it costs, that's what it costs. So anyway, I have an electric company lined up. I haven't gotten a quote on what they need for materials, so that's kind of up in the air. I have a quote for the heating and air. The heating and air is going to cost another, cha-ching, you guessed it, $14,000. So gotta have air conditioning because it's an expensive electric, a bunch of electric equipment, audio equipment, video equipment. So anyway, we're looking roundabout, and the plumbing. The plumbers are going to cost about, they still need about $6 grand to finish off paying off their part. So not including sheetrock and mud, which I haven't gotten a quote for the sheetrock because I'm hoping whoever does the framing will do the sheetrock. We're looking at about 40 grand, 40 to 50,000, give or take, with the cost of electrical equipment, which I have a brother of mine who's going to do the electric labor as a gift for the ministry. So now that we're an official ministry and a 501c3, I can write him a little thing, and hopefully he can write that off on his taxes. So we just have to get the material and then the sheetrock. So I'm guessing the sheetrock and the material for the electrical stuff, I don't know what it's going to cost, but I'm just going to figure 10 grand because 50 sounds good. So about 50,000 will get the building done. That'll be the framing, that'll be the insulation. Oh yeah, and we also have to get the rock wool, which rock wool is the soundproofing insulation that's going to go on the framing, and we have to get that priced out. But I figure that should cost in that 10,000 that'll be there. But anyway, about 50,000 to get the inside done. And once that's done, I can talk to you about what I'm believing for as far as equipment, because there's some video equipment that needs to be purchased. There's some sound equipment that needs to be purchased. But let's get the building done first, and then we can talk about all that. And if somebody wants to write a check for the whole thing, which I believe in God that, you know, hey, maybe somebody wants to just say, hey, how much do you need? I have that number, I have it written down, so I can tell you how much it is. It's about the same thing as what the building inside is going to cost. But like I said, we're not worried about that. So how can you be a part of this? I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm not going to say, well, you know, let's do $100 gifts, let's do $1,000 gifts. If the Lord leads you to give 10 grand, 15 grand, you know, so 5 people that gave 10 grand could get the inside done. And then you just multiply that times 10 and divide the gift times 10. So, you know, you can get 50 people to give $1,000. 50 people giving $1,000 would be amazing. That would really help, you know, help the thing along. So, but I'm really believing and pushing for and asking you to sow into this, and now you will get your tax write-off for it, to sow into this, to get the framing. We've got to get the framing done. We've got to get electrical in here because the plumbers need to come and get their stuff done before the end of the year, and the electrical as well. So we've got to get the framing done so the electrician can come in, so the plumbers can get in, and so we can get some walls up. Which also means the insulation is going to have to get done. So the thing is, it's kind of a domino effect. Once one thing happens, then the other things need to happen. So the first thing, spray foam on the ceiling is going to happen. That's going to be about $4,000 to $5,000. And then the framing's got to happen. After the framing happens, the AC guys have to come in as well. So the AC guys have to come after it's framed. They got to do their stuff, and then the electricians can come, then the plumbers can come. That way the electricians don't damage any of this audio wire that we're going to put, which also the audio, I don't think I figured that into the cost of the building stuff. I think that's less than $2 grand for all the wires, which actually was surprising. So let's just say $5,500. $5,500 will get the inside done, and you know, actually functional. So that'll be closed. That'll be completely like ready to go. We can have people in the recording because I have cameras, I have sound equipment, so we could get it done. And then that other gifting stuff, you know, we'll talk about that once the inside's done. We can have like a grand opening. So, and this can all happen in about 2 months. I'm believing, and I have faith that this will be done before the year's over. But I cannot do it on my own. So I've sown my first gift into the music ministry when the bank account was open. I sowed personally out of my own funds $500. I've sowed $500 into this, towards this project, and I've sown so full disclosure, up to this point about $35,000 has been spent on By Faith Music Studio Ministry, you know, the By Faith Studio. A third of that was y'all's gifts. A third of that was done through grants. So if you're a grant writer, if you have somebody that you can connect me with some grants, hey, I'm a Hispanic male, first generation American, and that does music, that's involved with the arts. So if you got some connections, please send me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call. So a third of it was through gifts, a third of it was through grants, and then a third of it, my wife and I, we have sown into, which half of that was done with cash, and then we had to take a small loan. So, and I'm believing that loan is going to be paid off within a year. So That loan was taken out about this past April, May, and I'm believing by next April, May, it will be completely paid off. Because, you know, when the Lord says to do something, He doesn't ask you to go into debt to do it. It's Lord's bill. You know, Lord's will, Lord's bill. I like what the Perry Stone little saying about the Lord's will, the Lord's bill. So, but that was my fault for not having enough faith and not saying, hey guys, you can give more. So, and some of you have given $1,000 already, and I thank you so much because you've sown into good ground and it's going to reap a tremendous harvest. So, help me get this done. Super excited. I'm still pushing. I haven't, you know, even though you haven't seen anything for a few months, trust me, I've had people here almost every week. I've been on the phone with people every week, sending the plans, updating the plans. The design has been updated. So if you haven't seen the new design, it's going to be right here in the video. I'm going to show you what it started with, what it was in the middle, and then here we are now. This is the final design. So we've got a little hallway now. We've got the vocal booth out of the control room. Everything looks nice. This is going to be super professional, and I'm telling you, I have people from all over the world that are waiting for this to be finished to come and to do music here, because we are going to change the world. I'm telling you, we're going to make the world a better place through music, through this place. Remember, Jesus deserves more than 4 chords, and when you're going to do stuff more than 4 chords, you got to have a place to do it. I've been working out of a bedroom all year. Before, I was working out of a garage, and before that I was working out of bedrooms and basements. Over 10 years of recording, #1 records, several things on Billboard, and I need a place where my friends and my peers and other ministers and other musicians and other minstrels and other Levites can come, and these young people can learn how to make music for Jesus that has more than 4 chords, and I can't teach them out of this tiny room. I can, but I can only teach about 1 or 2 at a time. So if we're gonna, you know, we need a place that we can have a full band and we can record and live stream and do ministry. So I need your help to do it. So whatever the Lord puts on your heart, if you want to give $100 a month, if you want to give $5,000, if you want to give $10,000, if you've got all 50, you've got all $100,000 to say, hey, here it is. Here's the 50 for the equipment, and here's the, you know, the 50 to get the building done, and here's 50 to get the equipment that you need. So I'm believing you. I'm putting it out there. So, and it's time to go. I'm praying that we can get the framing started. Like I said, foam guy, the spray foam installation guy is coming Monday, Tuesday to give me the final quote. And I'm believing that the $5,000 is going to be there so we can get that on the schedule. And then the framing's got to happen. We're going to need about $5,000 to buy the materials. The materials have to be here before anybody's going to start framing. So I've got to get the list from whoever's going to come and do this thing. So if you're a contractor, you know somebody, come on, give me a call today. Hit me up as soon as you see this. I need somebody to do this project with me and get this thing done so we can get it framed, get the electrician in here, get the plumbers in here, and get this thing done. I'm super excited. I'm pumped. I thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for sowing so far. And just dig deep and sow more, because we're going to change the world, and I can't wait for all of you that have given. If you're here in the area, if you're out of town, like one of my buddies, Jarvis Whitted, my By Faith partner. We had a group called By Faith way back in the day. That was our Christian group. We went and ministered. He's coming to the grand opening as soon as we get the grand opening date done, based on it being finished. So need your help to make that happen. So thank you so much. God bless you. You can support me through PayPal and through Zelle, or just email me and I'll tell you how to give, and to make sure you get your tax write-off. So Jesus loves you, so do I. Stay tuned. Good things are coming, and the best is yet to come.